Hey there guys, I'm back to another game review. Today I am very excited to talk about Alan Wake 2 on the PlayStation 5. The long-awaited 2010 action-adventure sequel is finally here. Now tackling the survival horror genre, Alan Wake is trying to escape the dark place after being trapped there all this time. Meanwhile, Saga Anderson is a FBI agent who is seeking answers about Bright Falls and the disappearance of our famous writer. Play as both characters as you uncover this mystery and save Bright Falls from another paranormal phenomenon. After receiving such high praise from fans and critics alike, does Alan Wake 2 live up to the hype? Let's find out. Alan Wake 2 has been a pipe dream for Remedy Entertainment for many years now. They wanted to make this game shortly after Alan Wake 1, but the publishers, Microsoft, had other ideas, which is where Quantum Break came in. When Remedy finally acquired the Alan Wake rights from Microsoft in 2019, they worked with Epic Games to release a remaster of the original game on current generation hardware. In addition, they're finally able to make Alan Wake 2. Personally, I only got into the Alan Wake series about 6 months ago. I always heard amazing things about the original game, and it is a great action-adventure title. Getting into Alan Wake 2, I was extremely eager to check it out. While everyone was praising Baldur's Gate 3 during the Game Awards season, I knew Alan Wake 2 was a close second just by how the press talked about the game. It was raking in 9s and 10s from nearly every outlet, and they're right. Alan Wake 2 is a super polished survival horror game that has a thrilling story that will keep you engaged the whole way through. Speaking of the story, Alan Wake 2 starts with Saga Anderson, a brand new character for the series. She's investigating a new group called the Cult of the Tree in Bright Falls. As she digs for more information, she comes across murders, paranormal activity, and Alan Wake. After disappearing over 10 years ago, Saga has now made it her mission to solve the new mystery at Bright Falls and save Alan Wake. Meanwhile, Alan is on his own adventure in the dark place to find a way out. In their joint effort, Saga Anderson and Alan Wake can bring their stories together and put an end to the dark place. Without any spoilers, the story of Alan Wake 2 kept me engaged the whole way through. It does start off slow to build things up, but once you take control of Alan or Saga whenever you want, that's when the story truly takes off. You are free to switch between either character and advance their stories at your own pace. Saga's story is where the final chapters take place, so make sure you do all of Alan's missions before you advance. The twists and turns Alan Wake 2 presents are eerily dropped. I was surprised by how the overall narrative was shaping itself. Some bits of Alan's story connect to Saga's and vice versa. Information is revealed to us slowly and starts to make the bigger picture come together. If you're a fan of well-crafted stories that subtly drop information for you to uncover, Alan Wake 2 is for you. It's dark and mysterious in its approach, but all the more satisfying by the end. I haven't played the new game plus mode yet, but I am eager to see what this new ending has to offer. Alan Wake 2 gives a captivating story that'll keep you engaged the whole way through. Taking on the survival horror genre, Alan Wake 2 gives the player an unsettling experience riddled with intense chase sequences, limited supplies, and frightening encounters. If you have never played a survival horror game before, Alan Wake 2 presents staples of the genre nicely without punishing the player too hard for mowing down enemies. It's true, if you're reckless with your supplies, you will run out of them quickly, but if you're careful in your approach and explore areas regularly, you'll do just fine in Alan Wake 2. Interesting thing I did during my playthrough of Alan Wake 2 is that I dove into Resident Evil 2 Remake. I didn't plan on it, but my girlfriend wanted to try the franchise out together. I was terrible at this game when I initially bought it in 2019, and I'm still kind of bad, but we played through all of Leon's campaign before I dove back into Alan Wake 2. Resident Evil 2 made me understand the survival horror genre more. It all boils down to managing your resources, solving puzzles, finding key objects to advance, and fighting enemies in scary scenarios. It's more intense in Alan Wake 2 because you have to shine your light on enemies before you can deal damage to them. Your flashlight, bullets, and health are limited resources you need to manage. Headshots deal more damage and can potentially stun your enemies for a quick second. If an enemy gets too close, you can dodge out of their way to avoid damage. If you happen to die, you'll respawn at your last save. The save rooms are well-lit areas that have a typewriter to save, a shoebox to store items, and a janitor bucket to switch between the characters. Save as much as possible because you don't want to die and re-explore an entire area when you come back.
Trust me, it's a pain in the ass. There's multiple different healing items like painkillers, trauma kits, and first aid kits. They all heal to varying degrees and take time to apply. Painkillers are the quickest but heal the least, while first aid kits heal the most but take the longest to apply. Finding a light source does heal you, but not to full HP, which is why it's important to use healing items whenever you can. Similar gameplay to the original Alan Wake, but with the survival horror twist. Playing between both Saga and Alan is similar in this regard. While Saga deals with the Taken in real life, Alan fights them in the Dark Place. The gameplay differences between Alan and Saga is their alternative menus. Saga has her mind plays where she's able to put clues together, profile characters, and advance the overall narrative. Alan has his writer's room where he's able to manipulate the story he's writing and change the environment around him. If you're stuck making any progress, head into the alternative menus to see if there's something you can change there. Saga's mind place is great because it unravels the mystery at hand, while Alan's writer's room opens new paths for the player to explore. The writer's room definitely changes the immediate gameplay more quickly, but the mind place is dope too because it keeps tracks of all your collectibles and how the mystery is progressing. Opening these menus does not pause the game, so be mindful of when you enter them. Puzzles are a major part of the survival horror genre, and they're very much present in Alan Wake 2. Most of the puzzles are optional, which unlock more supplies and weaponry. The mandatory puzzles can wrap your brain though. I'm terrible at puzzles in video games, especially in Alan Wake 2, so don't take my word for it, but the puzzles are challenging enough. None felt extremely hard, with the answers usually being in the surrounding area. Manuscript pages make a return which flesh out the story and could give you a sneak peek of what's to come in the narrative. There's other collectibles and Easter eggs to find throughout your adventure, so be sure to explore everything. Alan Wake 2 does everything right in the survival horror genre. Managing your supplies while battling scary enemies is the name of the game. I always felt the intensity while fighting enemies because I didn't want to miss my shots and waste supplies. Taking damage is more risky, where enemies can drain your health bar in an instant. Shooting is responsive with plenty of other tools to use against the Taken. Switching between Saga and Alan is a welcoming addition and brought a unique perspective to this overarching narrative. The puzzles and collectibles were nice to look out for as they continue to build upon the lore of Alan Wake. It's a survival horror game in every aspect, and it's done masterfully in Alan Wake 2. Presentation-wise, holy smokes, Remedy truly outdid themselves here. Graphically, the game looks beautiful on the PlayStation 5. I played in performance mode and the visual fidelity was still impressive. The textures and lighting effects, especially during Alan's story, are stellar. It kept a stable 60 frames per second and looked amazing the whole time. The sound direction is just way too good. Whether it's the music amping up or the lack of sound, I was freaked out every hour of my playthrough. I could not anticipate what was to come, and it's because of the sound direction. The jump scares are frightening too, and after seeing them a few times, I was more annoyed than scared. Alan Wake 2 is truly a next generation experience, and if you cannot run it on your PC, you can't go wrong with the console versions.
Fans and critics were correct. Alan Wake 2 is a chilling experience that brings the survival horror genre to new heights. Having both Saga and Alan's story happen simultaneously was beautifully executed. You're free to go at your own pace, learning about either character's journey in the Dark Place or current reality. The gameplay is pretty much everything a survival horror fan could ask for. Managing resources, scary/tense moments, and solving the occasional puzzle all make Alan Wake 2's gameplay feel fleshed out and complete. The presentation is above and beyond anything I could have expected. Visually stunning and sound design that is frighteningly realistic. I can see why Alan Wake 2 received so much praise last year and was among many people's game of the year. This is one of the best games of 2023 and most certainly a game well worth checking out at $60. Make sure you play at least Alan Wake 2010 before you dive into this one. You should also play Control because it ties into the whole Remedy universe and it also ties into Alan Wake 2. I didn't do all of that, so take that for what you will. But yeah, that is all I have for today. Thank you guys for watching this video. If you guys have not already, you can subscribe. I put new videos up on Saturdays. You can follow me on social media at TV Sonic Gaming on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, TikTok, pretty much everything at TV Sonic Gaming. And you can check out my podcast called the Travis and Damien Podcast. We talk about game, movies, and anime every other week. And yeah, that is all I have for today. Thank you guys for watching this video once again, and I'll see you guys next time with more videos.